Hi guys, welcome to Just Teaching. This is Lavanya. Today we are going to see about the hormonal control of spermatogenesis. How hormones control the spermatogenesis process. That's what we are going to cover in this entire video. First we will learn about certain key terms. So you people already know that the hormones, it controls the reproductive system itself. So in this video now we are going to entirely cover about the male reproductive cycles. How the hormones, it controls or regulates the male reproductive cycle. That's what we are going to see in this entire video. Before getting into very detailed regarding these things, we need to learn certain key terms. For example, it is GnRH, it stands for gonadotrophin releasing hormone. LH, it stands for luteinizing hormone. FSH, it stands for follicle stimulating hormone. ABP is androgen binding protein. And the term spermatogenesis means production of male gametes or sperm, and spermiogenesis, it means conversion or the transformation of non-functional spermatids into mature spermatozoa or sperm. So this spermatogenesis and spermiogenesis has been explained in the previous video. If you want, you can have a look at it. So these are the key terms. So just you need to memorize. So GnRH, it stands for gonadotrophin releasing hormone. Similarly, you need to keep these things in your mind. So we'll start with the functions of these hormones. How these hormones play a role. What is the functions of these hormones in regulating spermatogenesis? First we will start with gonadotrophin releasing hormone. This gonadotrophin releasing hormone, it is produced from hypothalamus and it is responsible for the release of FSH hormone and the LH hormone from the pituitary gland. This gonadotrophin only, it go and induce the pituitary gland to start the secretion of two hormones, FSH and LH. If there is no GnRH, that is gonadotrophin releasing hormone, is released from hypothalamus, there will be no secretion of FSH and LH from the pituitary gland. So the main function is that it will make the pituitary to synthesis FSH and LH. Then coming to the second hormone, that is FSH hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, which is released by the pituitary gland, that is anterior portion of the pituitary gland. So pituitary gland now, the parts of the pituitary gland, this is being divided into anterior lobe and the posterior lobe. From the anterior lobe, the FSH hormone will be synthesized, and coming to its function, so this FSH, it plays a role in the maturation of spermatozoa. Already we know the spermatozoa maturation process, we call it as a spermiogenesis. So I can also say it as this FSH, it plays a role in spermiogenesis, and apart from that, it also involved in the production of androgen binding protein by Sertolic cell. It makes the Sertolic cell to start the production of androgen binding protein. The third point is that as the level of FSH increases, the production of spermatozoa or sperm also increases. These are the points regarding FSH. So as you people know, FSH is released by the anterior pituitary, and coming to its function, it is necessary for the maturation of spermatozoa. It is necessary for the production of androgen binding protein, and this protein, it is produced by Sertolic cell, and as FSH increases, the spermatozoa production also increases. Next we will see about androgen binding protein. We saw that, isn't it, FSH it makes the Sertoli cells to induce the production of androgen binding protein. What is the function of this androgen binding protein is that this androgen binding protein it increases the testosterone concentration. So people know that testosterone is a male sex hormone. So androgen protein, when it also increases, it also increases the testosterone concentration. So this is the main function of androgen binding protein. So coming to the testosterone is a male sex hormone. It is produced in the interstitial cells of the testes, and what is the main function of testosterone is that it will initiate and it will maintain the spermatogenesis process. If the sperm production has to start, which hormone has to be compulsorily present over there? It is testosterone. It is very mandatory to start the sperm production process. Then coming to the luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone, it is also released by the anterior pituitary gland, And this luteinizing hormone, what it will do is that it will just go into the testis and it will bind to the Leydig cell. Leydig cell is present in the testis. It binds to it and it makes the Leydig cell to synthesis and secrete testosterone. So already we know testosterone is essential for spermatogenesis process. This testosterone, it is synthesized by the Leydig cell, and LH hormone, it helps in the synthesis of testosterone. And then coming to the final hormone, that is inhibin. So it is this inhibin, it has a little negative feedback mechanism in the production of a sperm, and we will see it in the end of the slide. And this inhibin hormone, it is secreted by Sertoli cell. Sertoli cell, once it secretes androgen binding protein, and it also secretes inhibin hormone. So when it will secrete the inhibin hormone is that when the sperm count is high in the system, when the sperm production is too much, this Sertoli cell, it starts secreting inhibin hormone and it will decrease the FSH hormone level. Once the FSH hormone level is decreased, what happened? The sperm production process also, it gets slowed down. Such a way it plays a control over the sperm production. So these are the basic hormones which is involved in the spermatogenesis process. We will just see it out in a step-by-step process. It is just a repetition, but it will be a little flow. You people can understand it very easily. So this spermatogenesis process, how the hormones act on the spermatogenesis process. The hormones, it starts with hypothalamus. So this hypothalamus, it releases gonadotrophin releasing hormone. This gonadotrophin releasing hormone, it acts on pituitary gland, and then it makes the pituitary gland to synthesize FSH and LH. And this LH, what it will do, it goes to the Leydig cell which is present in the testis, and it makes the Leydig cell to synthesize a hormone called testosterone, which helps in the sperm production process. And FSH, it is involved in the growth of testis, it is involved in the production of androgen binding protein by Sertoli cell, and it also involved in the maturation process of sperm, that is nothing but spermiogenesis. This is how the hormones, it influences the spermatogenesis process. This is how it starts the sperm production process. The same thing has been represented in the diagram. You can refer the hypothalamus, which produces this GnRH hormone. This acts on pituitary gland, and pituitary gland produces LHS and FH. LH, it acts on Leydig cell. In turn, Leydig cell, it produces testosterone, which stimulates the spermatogenesis process. And similarly, FSH, it makes ABP protein production by spermatogenesis, and it ultimately increases the testosterone concentration, which in turn once again increases the sperm production process. This is how the sperm production process being carried out with the help of the hormones. And hope you people remember, I said once about inhibin hormone, is it not? So we just go on with the negative feedback mechanisms. So how these hormones, not only inhibin hormone, even the testosterone hormone also, it acts as a negative feedback mechanism. It helps in the control of sperm production. How it controls the sperm production, we can have a look at it. So when this testosterone hormone will go for a negative feedback mechanism is that when the testosterone level, it is becoming very high, what it will do is that it will just go on to the hypothalamus and it stops the production of gonadotrophin releasing hormone. When gonadotrophin releasing hormone is stopped, ultimately the production of FSH hormone and LH hormone from the anterior pituitary gland will also be stopped. When this hormone production is stopped, what happens? Ultimately, we don't have much sperm production. This is how the testosterone, it acts in controlling the sperm production. So already we know, to initiate the sperm production, what hormones I need? Testosterone hormones I need. The same testosterone hormone, when the levels become too high, it itself, it stops the sperm production process. This is one of the negative feedback mechanisms. Next we will see about the inhibin, how inhibin control the sperm production. So this inhibin, as you people already know, it is produced by the Sertoli cell, and this inhibin will be produced whenever the sperm count is very high. Whenever our system has too much of sperm production, or when the sperm count becomes very increasing, the Sertoli cell, it starts producing a hormone called inhibin, and the inhibin, the same thing it will do. What it will do, it will act on a GnRH, and it stops the GnRH from acting on anterior pituitary, and once again this anterior pituitary, once it does not get any signal from GnRH, it won't synthesize any FSH hormone and LH hormone. Ultimately the spermatogenesis process, it gets slowed down. So this inhibin and testosterone, it simultaneously controls the spermatogenesis process in a negative way. Testosterone, it can either start the process of spermatogenesis, and it can stop the process of spermatogenesis. This is how the hormones control the spermatogenesis process. So in this entire video now we covered regarding how the hormones and what is its function, how it plays a role in controlling the spermatogenesis process, both in a positive way and in a negative way. In the upcoming videos we can see a little detail regarding oogenesis process. I hope you like the video and understand the concept. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share our video and subscribe our channel.